Okay, so like everyone was doing a tier list for like top 10 LRs, top 10 EZAs, and stuff like that. So I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet, hop into the bandwagon here, and we're going to talk about my personal top 10 units in the game, ranked 1 to 10. Now, I would usually prefer to rank units by tiers, like Z tier, SA tier on fourth. But I feel like a lot of these top units in the game are really, really close together. And, you know, when I was looking at it, it basically, like, at least with this list that was made here, it's essentially just like two tiers, two, three tiers, right? So it's not really that big of a difference. I think at the end, I'll probably just shift and then show that, right? I don't have actually pulled up a separate one, but I think that they've been doing a really, really good job with these summonable LRs recently, and there's just so many really good top tier options that they, you know, some units are better than the others in different situations, right? This is just my personal opinion, by the way. I think that a lot of these units can be interchanged, but I'll talk about that as we go on. And of course, let me know what you guys' top 10s will be in the comments below. Let's go ahead and take a look here. And we'll just start off with number 10 on my list, which actually does end up being LR Goku Black and Zamasu. I do want to just, you know, bring them up right here. So LR Goku Black and Zamasu, very, very powerful unit that got their EZA on JP during the Tanabata 2022 celebration. This unit is just stupid, right? It's like they don't necessarily do anything that's really super special, but their stats are just dumb, right? They can do like what I've seen them do, like easy 13 million attack stats, right? Something like that. They have this super attack effect for raising their defense for a couple of turns, which their defense plus super attack can be in like the 700 plus K range. They're healing every turn, and they have the guard for the first 3 turns, which makes it extremely easy for them to build up their stats. And they have a very strong link set, I think, overall, right? I mean, if we take a look at their link set, the only issue is that Goku Black right now just isn't really that prominent of a unit, right? You know, if we take a look here, all their best link partners is Goku Black's, right? This guy got his EZA. He's pretty good. I think he could have been better, but like, you know, this guy, we're waiting for his EZA. These 3 are just irrelevant right now. We're waiting for Angel's Zamasu to get his EZA, right? And actually, they lose a link here, huh? That's kind of funny for when this guy transforms. I mean, he actually links well with Metal Cooler, funny enough. There's like some top tier units here that he does actually work well with, like LR Janemba. He actually works well with pretty enough. I guess I'll confirm here, also LR Janemba's here. He's actually not on the top 10. If I had a rank though, Janemba would probably be like 11. Yeah, I would say 11 for me. I probably would have had actually Janemba at 10 if it was like a week or 2 ago. But with the introduction of STR Cooler and really how the Wicked Bloodline movie bosses team works out, I just think that there's a lot of better options for on Janemba's team compared to like the teams Goku Black are on, and I feel like you're going to use this. I would probably just end up using this unit more often than I would use Zamasu, because I feel like this unit is much more easy to set up. He builds up a lot more easier. He just does what he wants to do. Janemba will always have that, you know, tricky issue of wanting to build him in slot 2, even though he's preferably a slot 1 unit, right? And that's really the thing that really separates them from me, especially with, you know, the amount of slot 1 units that Janemba team already has, such as LR Golden Frieza, AGL Golden Frieza, the new Metal Cooler, STR Cooler, EZA can also work well in slot 1, right? There's just not really a necessary need for Janemba as much as this Goku Black, I feel. And I think that, you know, honestly, something else that holds us back, and that's why he's like not, you know, higher up on this list, and he's 10. This guy doesn't actually have like that great of a team to be ran on, unfortunately, which is, I guess, one place you can give to that Janemba unit. Realm of Gods, you know, you don't really run them like on that team, the Resurrection of Blues team. Future Saga, Vegeta and Trunks, they kind of just like, you know, take over there, and you want to run basically bottom parent and child, right? None of these teams are really that great right now. I'm telling you, once we get like a new Rose Goku Black or something that's leading time travelers, like these can get very crazy. Like imagine Carnival LR, even Zamasu, Fusion Zamasu, Carnival LR, 200% to time travelers or Realm of Gods, right? this could get crazy because this guy doesn't have a 200% lead yet. I think that once he gets it and we get like a more strong Zamasu Goku Black units, this unit could easily shoot up to like 6-5 range, right? They're incredible. A nasty unit. Next we have Infusion Zamasu here. So he's right next to this guy. I think that they're more or less similar with what they do. I feel that Zamasu, though, because of his damage reduction, I personally feel that he does work better in difficult content without being next to a Goku Black and Zamasu than this unit, personally. They're like, let's look at this passive. They're doing an awful lot of things, right? Their super attack effects are absurdly powerful. They have the intro where they could change key spheres. You know, they heal right here. They build up key. They heal even more right here. This is what are they like? Come on, they're doing so much. This could be interesting if only, dude. I still hate that Somax is not unarmed. If Somax's super attack was unarmed, this dude would be like 3 times better, or not 3 times better, but like twice as good. Like unironically, like this could be such a potent ability. But I think another plus in terms of we're just taking a look at the game meta currently and the hardest difficult events of the game. Somax, I think everyone agrees, is pretty much the hardest event. So this guy being in type with the damage reduction just outperforms this guy there, and that's one reason why I have him above that Goku Black and Zamasu. He has this very powerful active skill, which is another huge plus. And yeah, just a double super attack, super effective against all types. This dude is just doing I think a little more overall than what this guy is, at least currently in the game. I mean, if like Somax was like AGL type, then honestly I could see myself like switching these two around. Honestly, I think they're very, very close, and they are honestly each other's best friends. Again, this Zamasu also, he's actually on the Future Trunks and Vegeta 200% lead, as he is on Battle of Fate. Anything before Fusion Zamasu comes out is not in the Battle of Fate category, at least in that arc specifically, right? So I like this unit a lot. I could see an argument for this guy maybe being above, but I think currently right now I personally prefer this Fusion Zamasu here. I will keep this open, but let's go ahead and go to my number 8 spot, which is actually the Goku and Vegeta unit here, I believe. Yeah. So this Goku and Vegeta unit, very, very powerful unit. I think they are probably underrated by the community even still. I think that, you know, there's a lot of like strong things about them. Their damage reduction could be helpful. You know, they could multiple super attack during the turn. I really like their super attack effect right here, especially the 18 key. This 50% lowering attack. It seems that they're giving a lot of these like bosses the ability to lower their attack, especially in the early phases. So this could really help build up your units. It's very strong for Super Battle Road as well. My only gripe with this unit really is this. This like honestly kind of kills the unit because they're good here, but you obviously want to aim to get the morale boost, because once you morale boost with them, they get the guaranteed crit at 24 key and the active skill chance, right? They get the 70% chance for the additional super attack right here. And, you know, the damage reduction becomes much more consistent with being 30%. And, you know, this is only 20 and 20 for the first 3 turns, right? After that, it's 20%. So if you don't get the morale boost, like conditions, and then you leave this guy with 20% reduction, he does lose the additional attack as well after 3 turns. This guy's just like way less impressive. It's absurd. And they made the morale boost too hard to get. 7 attacks is a lot to ask for. And the 3 more super attacks is not the worst thing with their additional, but I mean, like if you get absolutely screwed, you have to wait until like turn 7 to get the morale boost, and it's like, why, right? I think that's a little too much considering how weak this unit can get after the first 3 turns of battle. His link set is a very strong plus for him though. And then the leader skill is just probably what I think, like the leader skill is the biggest reason why I have these guys above these two. I would say if it wasn't for that leader skill and the stupid link set, this guy might even be at 10. Like, I seen people, as people responded to me, I posted this on Twitter, they said, why isn't this guy 10? And I just think that, you know, when you consider the morale boost power this unit has, like once this guy is here, They're very, very, very nasty, right? Did the music run out? Yeah, it did. Let me just replay this. Yeah. Persona music is pretty good, but when the morale boost runs out, oh, when you don't have it, it's just a 9-day difference. I feel like, honestly, even though there's not much of a change, it feels like such a big impact. My gripe with this unit too, though, this should be higher, at least 40%. I don't know why it's 30%. Like, they're very careful about damage reduction, but I feel like this unit could be taking a little better, even for the amount of damage they're doing, which is a lot if you consider the guaranteed crits, 70% additional super chance, right? They're hitting like 9 million attack stats, then they're doing like 5 million additionals. Those could be guaranteed crits. I don't know. I just think that adding one thing to them, or even just increasing this, would go a very long way for this unit. But I still think I'm very impressed with what they're doing. This could be good. This doesn't really hit that hard though, honestly. What if, like, I don't know. I used them yesterday, and or was it yesterday or the day before? I forgot when. Recently, I used them against the cooler core, the meta cooler core, and they did like half a health bar with a guaranteed crit, and it's like, okay, right? And I think the big thing about this is the stun, because right, they don't like massively raise attack for the turn like a lot of these active skills or anything like that. They have the guaranteed crit, but you get to tell that it does considerably less damage because they don't have like that 50 or 100% attack raise a lot of these active skills do. Instead of that, the stun, and it's like at this point you can't stun, so it's really dumb, and it's a dumb sacrifice to have for that, unfortunately. But I think this is very powerful, and although they're arguably like the worst Dokkan Fest on release, they're still pretty good. Okay, I feel like I spent a long time talking about this character, but I think, again, I want to at least cover the whole thing about it, right, and not just be like, yeah, they're good, and you know, they could be stronger. Like, no. So next, I actually do have Metal Cooler, Carnival LR Metal Cooler here. I think this unit is very, very well designed. I really like how they really did this unit a lot. He plays a role that units don't usually play, and it's like a healer, right? A very, very strong healer role that can even tank like super attacks from these really huge bosses, right? I mean, like, how much HP does he heal? 10%. Okay, let's say you're low HP. He can heal 20% here. He heals 10% at the end of turn. It could be another 5% if there's a Meta Cooler attacking the same turn. So that alone is 35% HP, which is stupid. He has his active skill, which, you know, if you revive or take 7 attacks, you know, which considering it's only, that's either or, and it's only this condition, right? It's not the worst thing since this guy wants to get attacked a lot. He has a 30% recovery here. He can revive with no conditions. It's only him that has to die, right? It can't be like he survives and like second slot cooler dies, right? This guy has to be the one that dies, but this is still like probably one of the most like probably is like the best mechanic in the game. It's like unironically just revives when you die. It's absurdly broken. This unit literally just can't die, at least the first time, right? And this is cool too. I feel like, you know, same with Zamasu. If some Max had this unarmed, that would be insane. But I think that they've been doing a lot of bosses now that have unarmed super attacks as well. Like, we've been seeing a lot of that recently, so it's been helping these units, you know, that do have the unarmed super attack nullification, which is another form of defense. He's very key sufficient as well. And I guess one thing that sucks about this is, even though you do heal a lot during the turn, right? If you start the turn like at lower HP, and then even if you heal it all up, this doesn't really do that best. But a lot of this healing, like all of this, is at the end of turn, right? So you can heal 15% at the end of turn, and then this can be at the end of turn if this pops. So for like if you're running double LR Meta Cooler, right? Super attack effects are pretty good. At least the 30% defense raise is nice. And yeah, I mean, this guy just does a role that I feel like not many units do. He has a strong link set. His stats are also very high, I think, you know. I like this guy better than these three, just, you know, from using them. I think the big thing is the revive. If I had to know any issues that I have with this unit, low-key, I mean, it's weird to say, but maybe he's a little too tanky at times, Because the thing about with a lot of these revive units is that they have a way built in where if you need to revive, you know, you can get that, or if you're at lower HP, which is what I think this is supposed to be. But I think that's way less effective than, like, you know, Vegeta slash Goku losing their entire stats, or the Carnival Goku just straight up, you know, losing his guard, right? I think there's, you know, because since it has to be this character specifically, not the whole rotation. Like, I've seen like runs against AoE Broly where this guy supers, then he actually lives the AoE Broly super attack, and then your second slot unit dies to the super attack, and then you're just like dead because obviously it can't be the full rotation. Now, I think it's fine though. I'm not saying that they have to buff this, but it's just an issue I've seen people run into. But really, I mean, I think a lot of people are very, very excited about this unit, and this is nice. I mean, another thing is that you can't really run this unit that great as a lead because you can only obviously revive once. So you say you revive and then you go to the next turn with the other meta cooler, the value for this unit drops considerably, since you obviously do lose that potential to revive, which is why this unit could be such a great slot 1 unit. But that's pretty much it. That's why I have him at 7. So we'll go ahead and move on to number 6 right here, which is LR Golden Frieza. Now, this LR Golden Frieza, there's so much to talk about him. He could, on turn 1, look like the best unit in the game. He debuffs right here, which is very good. He has this 30% raise on top of the damage reduction here. Like, this is absurd. Even once you go down to 30% reduction, that's like still like where this guy is, right? And then he had, oh, well, I spoiled that, but I guess I think at 5 at this point is pretty obvious, 5 and above, but like, come on. And then he has, I think, honestly, probably better stats than those guys, especially as a slot 1 unit, because when he gets these 2 off, those stick to being the start of turn, right? This is such a powerful effect that this guy is able to get, especially if he's above the 50% HP threshold. It's so absurdly powerful, right? This is nice too. This allows him to do like absurd damage. Like, he goes from like doing like 7 million, 8 million to like 10, 11 million, like at the rainbow level. Once he gets this off, his defense jumps up so high with this as well, because it's a pure 50% buff. He guaranteed double super attacks if he's above 50% HP at the start of turn, which, you know, if you're considering like this unit on the team, AGL Meta Cooler, you know, these links with like Metamorphosis and everything like that, it's not too hard to stay above this threshold, 50%. Not at all, honestly. And even if he does fall under 50%, he doesn't become dead weight or anything. I think the only issue with this guy that I really, well, there's 2 issues, I think. This doesn't really do damage. It's an AoE, sure. I mean, you can get in Super Battle Road as a finisher, but no, like, it doesn't have the crit, right? I think that's a very important thing. Even more important than this, I think, is the crit. Could be interesting, and who cares, right? This guaranteed crit AoE, sure, why not, right? They already make this Mega Colossal, which is lower than Ultimate. Another issue, just Frieza's in general. No big bad bosses, Thirst for Conquest. That can hurt the team, though you do run this guy in slot 1, so ideally what you could do is run another, like, if you're having this guy in rotation, slot 1, Final Form Cooler slot 2, they do still share a good amount of links. And then you could have like a big bad bosses or Thirst for Conquest unit floating, like say SREZ Cooler, or, you know, Cooliza, who only has Thirst for Conquest, or even like physical meta cooler. You could have him as a floating option, right? I think that works out a lot, and he's just doing a slot 1 role on that team. Well, there's a lot of units there that on this team, on the teams he's on, that can do it. He's like probably the best unit for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Gear skill, not really the best, but I just think it's really, again, his performance and what he does. It's just so much more important to those teams and so much more impactful than these 3. Especially early on. This guy's going to age out. He probably will age out every single unit on this list. Like, in like 3 years or something in the game, this guy is going to be like more relevant than any of these guys. Not counting easy A's or anything, right? But you guys get the point, right? This Golden Frieza is absurd. You could tell he's like he's literally the only, he's like the best yellow coin LR in the game, right? Yeah. That's what I would say. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on here. I think top 5 is pretty obvious, but you guys already saw Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta I have here. I think by proxy I'll put right here my second option for the LR gods, right? So this unit has been slandered recently. I don't know why. I I don't know what people are thinking. I've seen a lot of people like have this guy like down here like at 7. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I think a lot of the thing is that, you know, this guy doesn't have his Super Saiyan 4 partners like that are really good right now. We got the LR Super Saiyan 4s, but I feel like they kind of aged out a little quickly. I'm very odd enough. The easy Super Saiyan 4s, just because like they don't, their stats the defensively, well, Goku's especially, but I think Vegeta is still pretty good defensively. Reaching around what 600k with the 30% counter chance. That's very good. Goku, not so much. He's caps out like about 400k ish defense, right? It's a massive difference, surprisingly enough, and because of that, this guy is not really as relevant as he used to be, right? Back during the 7th year anniversary, in terms of his strength, I still think that, like, in terms of his team build, right? In terms of him being a unit, he's probably better than ever with the Vegeta and Trunks that came out, right? This guy also got a huge buff from the LR Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta having shocking speed. One of the biggest issues I always had with this unit is them having shocking speed over prepared for battle. It's like Age of UI Goku and this guy and the Tech Gogeta pre-fusion. It's like the only units you would actually run with this guy. Like these two, you don't really you don't run them on rotation with Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. And it's like, if you look here, no one else is like relevant that you would actually use them with. I guess you can bring up Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, sure. This guy is pretty good too, but I don't know. I hate this link so bad compared to like what prepared for battle is. Like, unfortunate. This guy is obviously good in his base form. Once he fuses, like this is just guaranteed. Because now that we've seen like a lot of units with the C1 reactions, like no one else just does it every single turn, unlimited chances. A lot of these units have like, you know, a condition to do it once or twice, or just once on their active skill, or once at a certain HP threshold, like full power Frieza. We haven't seen any other unit besides the 7th year anniversary units that just disable enemy action once, like just guaranteed every single turn on their 18 key. That's pretty massive, I think. You know, this ability technically just got better because of that. Their super attack effects are insane, right? This unit has a damage reduction, the 50% counter chance, you know, the 50% additional chance, key sufficiencies out of the roof, even though they know how to prepare for battle, right? This active skill hits absurdly hard because they stack attack before they fuse, and then guarantee crits within the turn with this unit doing like 10 million attack stats, 9 million attack stats, and then additional supers for like 6 million. Like, this unit is absurdly impressive, and their performance, this outdoes every single unit here, except for like Golden Frieza turn 1, right, is the only exception, right? But like every other unit here, it doesn't do what this guy could do overall as a spectrum once he's fused, right? I think the pre-fusion, you know, you could definitely be like, oh, well, he's a little weak pre-fusion, especially in that turn 3. Turn 3 could be really dangerous for this guy. But I personally still really like this unit a lot, and this leader skill is not like the best still ever, but this like Fused Fighters GT Heroes, like it's not like this team is never just gonna go unbuffed for like years, especially Fused Fighters. Like this team is gonna be buffed like every year consistently, right? Literally, people are expecting it like a Gotenks like next month as the next Dokkan Fest. Physical Super Vegeta's Easy A's very soon, right? I mean, if we're taking a look here, who else? Tech Vegeta Blue got his Easy A recently. He's a very good option for this team, I feel like. This SDR Piccolo's actually on this team, which, I mean, not many movie heroes here, but, I mean, that's pretty good, right? We have the GOAT Tech Piccolo, right? Age of Blue Gogeta upcoming on an Easy A. 5-year anniversary fusions also upcoming on Easy A's. Probably during 8th anniversary is my guess, but GT Heroes, there's still a lot of buffs that we can get for this team as well, right? You know, the GT Heroes is definitely not done either, so I like this unit a lot. I think that one massive thing is their leader skill. I think that's one thing that puts them above like all these other units. Except for like this unit, I think this unit has a better leader skill, but I think that whilst this unit has a better leader skill, this unit is just way better as a unit. So, in my opinion, let me know what you guys think. I know that for some reason this unit is like a little controversial right now. It's kind of funny, but again, I'm sure a lot of people know me as the guy that wasn't the best, like, you know, a lot of people like this guy better than this unit. I've always liked this unit better, so we're just gonna segue into 4, right? Very, very similar talks compared to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I just think that if we really compare the two, though, leader skill is just way better right now in terms of the meta. This unit has, I think, probably a better link set right now in terms of what, you know, the top tier units in the game are. Again, same with the disable enemy action. They're very similar here. I do really, really like the guaranteed double super attack over the chance and the damage reduction. I've always liked that better. The dodge chance builds together, so it's 30%. Then they get an extra 7%. That if you get 4 key spheres, rainbow key spheres, with like Tech God Goku next to this guy, for example, you get like what 58% chance to dodge, which is a very high chance to evade enemy attacks, right? Active skill is very strong. You know, they're just on a bunch of these teams. Bottom Parent Child, they work really well next to Vegeta and Trunks. They work really well next to Carnival Goku. Like, if we take a look at, you know, this top tier list so far, right? Like, these are all probably, like, the best units in the game, right? He even works pretty nice solid with this guy at the very least. This unit, he obviously just links well with. Obviously, he still works well with Super Saiyan 4s. This Goku Gohan unit he links well with. Namek Goku, Vegeta Trunks, Carnival Goku, like I said. Like, come on. This unit is very, very strong. Again, I talked about a lot of they're very similar. The gods Super Saiyan 4s. I just can't find myself to separate them that much by tiers. Even though I think this unit is a much better position, especially now during the game, with like all these mover heal stuff. You know, we're gonna get like Beast Gohan and Ultimate Piccolo, you know, Orange Piccolo, in like what, probably in the next few months, which makes this team even better. There's a lot with this unit, and they're also on more, like, a lot of 200% leader skills as well. So I think that this unit is the 4th best in the game. I think that I wouldn't put them together. I still would say I like, you know, them separated like this. Top 3 should be easy to guess, kind of. I think the top 3 are pretty solidified. So we'll go on my 3rd spot, which is Carnival Goku, and we'll talk about him right now. I think Carnival Goku is the guaranteed guard for the most part, right? I guess because this, you know, sure, it's above 60%, but once you fall under 59%, you get basically most of the time, I feel like you're going to revive if you have this guy against, like, you know, these really tough bosses like Cooler Core, you know, Broly, maybe not Broly, right? Maybe in the AoE phase. Omega Shenron especially, right? You really will get this revive skill. And the revive, you know, 59% HP is nice. He doesn't guarantee guards, has a 50% chance to crit. He's still super effective. He has this 59% multiplicative defense. Where is it at? This is such a huge ability because it multiplies against his stacking that he does permanently. He does really good damage, very strong link set. His 200% leader skill is pretty good. I think that I've grown to like this team one more, especially with the buffs that got this celebration. And this unit is very simple, but good. There's not really much else to it. He's just a defense stacking unit with guard. And we've seen like Tech Ultimate Gohan, how good that guy is, right? I mean, this guy is basically kind of like an LR version of this guy, doing way more damage at the same time. He has the revive skill, this active skill. Doesn't really hit the hardest, but it has this disable enemy action ability, which is quite strong. And it can be used basically anytime after revive is used. A lot of 200% leader skills this guy is on as well. I feel like this is a unit you could slide very easily in like any setup for like with like a Super Saiyan, and this guy just does the same on any team no matter what he's doing. He doesn't need to be like set up with like massive supports, or his linking partners aren't like rare because his link set is so powerful. And that's basically it, right? I feel like, you know, these two have to be really set up. I feel like this unit has to be set up like, maybe not as much this unit. I think this unit is another one you could throw on the team like that. But like this guy just has way better stats, right? I mean, dude, this unit is just like, if they're, I'm sorry, I'm going back to this guy, but if they had like more, just stronger stats, even by like an extra like 100k defense and an extra like a million attack stat and like other super attacks, right? That'd be a game changer for this unit. They just need a little push, unfortunately. And it's like, again, same with the gods. This guy has a very strong link set with the best units in the game. I like this unit a lot. I think, you know, compared to every single unit on this list, I think this guy needs the least amount of setup. You can throw him on any team and he just does amazing. I think my only gripe with this unit is it's like a little nitpick. I would like one of these two to be all in the family, just because this powerful comeback team has so many units with that link all in the family, especially like I think staples for this team, Tech Gohan, Nama Goku has it before, Star Ultimate Gohan. This unit is actually very powerful. I really like this unit the more I use it. The 70% dodge chance and the heal like that is very strong. And, you know, the Goku Gohan team as well. You know, stacking guard with all in the family would be very nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have to explain about this guy that much. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm going to say about him. It's very simple. Next, I have S-Tier Cooler. Before I had it like this. But I think with the introduction of all these super good Wicked Bloodline movie boss units in Celebration, and especially S-Tier Cooler ZZA, push this guy over the edge. Oh my god, we're at 30 minutes. What the hell? Okay, well, I didn't expect the video to get that long, but especially with S-Tier Cooler ZZA, this guy just goes way above. And again, just good link set with all these villain units. Probably one of the best villain link sets in the game. Very strong 200% leader skill on multiple 200% leads. Very, like, he gets 10 key. Like, come on, key sufficient. These are very strong. The guaranteed additional super attack after a few turns is nice. His active skill hits so much harder than, like... Is this not, like, the hardest active skill on this list? Obviously, I have this unit at 1. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Is this, like, the hardest hitting active skill on the list? Yeah, definitely, by far, right? Because he's stacking attack here. And his link set is too powerful. And you build this guy with, like, full crit, like 30 crit. He's likely going to crit. It's like, what were they thinking with this unit, really? And, like, the amount of options you have with them, like Frieza, Golden Frieza, Metal Cooler, S-Tier Cooler. They really went all this way to make this guy, like, even throughout the entire year, to make this guy absurd. And I think the only issue with him is he's a little RNG dependent. I wouldn't even say little. These are, like, could be a deal breaker, especially early on. If those medium chances don't proc, this unit's defense is substantially lower. But if they do proc, it's a 50% raise. And I've seen turns of him starting off like at 500k, 600k defense. So it's like, well, if he gets even one of those off, he's nearing like 1 million defense, which is still absurd with the amount of damage he's doing. Like, he's doing like 18 plus mil attack stats and then additional supers for like 10 mil, like fully built up and everything with the stacked attack. And then he lowers attack here. I actually really like units that lower attack recently, because again, I said earlier, a lot of these units nowadays just lower, are a lot of these enemies, I'd say, can be lowered in attack, so that could be very important to help build up your units. Again, active skill is not hard to get, and then by the time you get this, like, you're fully built up basically, so the active skill is going to hit absurdly hard. Like, I love this unit a lot. You could argue he's probably the most fun unit in the game. I think he's 2 though. I would say Vegeta and Trunks I find at 1. I just think this unit is just too good, right? They do really good damage. I think that people don't really think this unit does the greatest damage. And I mean, if you compare him directly to this Cooler, he's not doing nearly as much damage. But this unit is way more consistent. They have the crits. They get triple super at the very least. Stacking defense permanently in attack with the guard in slot 1 is very important. They lead, I think, still the best team in the game. You could probably make arguments for this guy. It depends on if you're like more offense or defense builds, right? I wouldn't like blame you if you had Cooler one like this. But this guy is at least 2. I would say personally by far, you know, this is... I want to say by far, but this unit definitely is 1 for me. By a margin. Not like a huge margin, but a margin. This active skill buffing defense for the entire rotation is very strong. They heal so much from orbs because they're stacking and they have this. And then they allow the other units in the rotation to get that. Even for the first 5 turns with the bottom parent child, they can guard in any slot. This is such a powerful ability as well. Like, come on, they're super key sufficient. This is multiplicative defense. They get absurdly high defense with the guard. Like 700k defense with guard, or something like 600k defense with the guard. That's enough to tank like any super attack in the game and survive easily, right? Like by far. So this unit has too many options to help them become strong. They're just a Saiyan with this amazing link set. And I think that one weakness you can say for them though is links, teams. They don't have that many teams, but their own team is by far like the best team in the game, in my opinion. It just this team, like, whoa, okay. I actually thought that this would be what Beast Gohan would get for his team, but now I don't know. I mean, what if they still give him this team? It's like, okay, absurd team, right? This unit is just stupid. I don't have to really explain them. Maybe it's good that I explain them, obviously, though. I just, guard stacking defense is such a stupid ability. It's like a stupid combo of things. And this guy should be on global in, what, November, December? If you're going to summon for him, which I honestly don't recommend, because his banner kind of sucks, but you'll see the power this unit really does have in his back pocket. But that's my top 10. Again, if I were going to like rank in tiers, I'd probably do like this. Nah, probably like this, and then like these. I'd probably like these two in a tier, and then I guess these three. Maybe something like that. Maybe I could just move these three up here. Something like this, right, is what I would do. Which is, again, is about the tiers like that doesn't really matter. But this is my top 10. Again, I want to know what you guys think. A longer video for sure. But I really like going into like deep dissections into each of these units, especially if you're like a new player. I think it's very helpful to get an idea of why exactly I think, you know, some of these units may be above the others and things like that. But let me know what y'all think again. Thank you for watching. If you did watch some out to the end, I guess that's to take my work further, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.